Yo guys, what's up? Cyrese back doing another video. Today I want to talk about this idea of if I could only eat 5 foods to bulk up, what would those foods be? Sound good? Sound like a plan? Sound cool to you guys? I'll try to keep this video short. But yeah, let's go over it. Let's start by going over some quick proof and why I could probably talk about this. I've been skinny in the past. I've been there. I have felt that. I know what it's like to be super skinny. The first, 13, 14, 15 years of my life, I was like 130 pounds, so that sucks. If you're 130 pounds, you know how skinny that is, especially if you're like a young, natural skinny guy. On the other hand, I've been overweight too, so I've been pretty fat. I have been there also. So I know what both sides look like, and I know how being super skinny can suck. You know, people make fun of you. People are like, "Hey, are you eating? Are you starving? Are you getting fed at home? You look like a you look like a little African kid that never eats." I know what that's like. And I've gone from skinny, I've gone from fat to, pretty good shape, and I've done that multiple times, completely naturally, completely drug-free. I've never done any PEDs or drugs like that ever in my life. I'm also young, so I've done this at a pretty early age. I have been lifting since I was like 5 or 6, so on top of that, I do have about 15 years of natural training experience. So I've been through the trials and tribulations of learning this stuff. I know how hard it can be. I know that there's a lot of information out there. A lot of it may be conflicting as well. So I know what that's like. On top of that, I also have over a decade of personal research on these topics, exercise, training, programming, diet, nutrition, recovery, helping out, all of that stuff. This has been through books, through articles, videos, documentaries over the years. I've also spent thousands of dollars on different courses. I don't even know how many courses I've bought over the years, but it's been a lot. And well, through each one, I get a golden nugget here, a golden nugget there, and all of that kind of adds up, and I've got all this knowledge that I would say makes me pretty qualified. On top of that, I've also helped others achieve similar results. I've helped young skinny guys put on actual real size, and I've also helped fat people lose weight too, but this video is more dedicated for skinnier guys. So what do I want to promise to you in this video? I want to basically help you build significant, lasting, natural muscle. I want to stop the frustration that you might be going through. I want you to gain some confidence along with some strength and some pride in your actual physique. And I want you to achieve all of this without obsessing over it or endless tracking too. So the plan here with this video is to cut through the noise. I just want to expose some mistakes, keep it real easy, real simple. I'll show you some effective, sustainable paths that you can take that will help you actually achieve the results that you deserve and the results that you want. If you spend a lot of time, if you spend a lot of time in the gym, and you feel like you're not seeing any progress, maybe you feel like your wheels are spinning, that's okay too. I know what that's like. Like I mentioned earlier, maybe you're confused by all this conflicting info out there. I know there's a lot of different gurus who all tell you different things, and that kind of sucks because it's like, who do I trust? Who do I talk to? It's really overwhelming on top of that. You've probably been called skinny. You've probably been called skinny fat, and I know how that can affect your confidence. That sucks as well. I've been there too. Maybe you avoid social situations also. Maybe you don't go to the pool because you're scared to take your shirt off. Or, maybe you're afraid to go hang out at family gatherings because you know that they always trash you for being so skinny. I know what all this is like. I know that it sucks. I know that it affects your confidence. And just like you, I wanted to change and get out of that and put on some real young, natural size. I want you to imagine waking up, looking in the mirror in the morning and seeing that you actually enjoy and like looking at your reflection. I want you to imagine that you can go outside and not constantly be thinking about how skinny you are. I want your clothes to fit you perfectly. I want you to imagine, what it would feel like to be strong and feel strong and actually capable. And I want you to imagine that you did all of that naturally. That's pretty much the goal of this video. So let's move on. Just a quick heads up, if this kind of stuff is cool and you enjoy this kind of content, there's a link in the description below where you can find lots more just like it. Okay, let's go over a couple of these. Let me minimize these, otherwise I'll get distracted. So, the real path to muscle growth. Number 1, simple eating for serious gains. Why fewer foods win. This is a real interesting topic and something I struggled with too in the beginning. Complex diets fail. Simplify. Focus on key foods for consistent growth. This is really important and something that I apply to my own personal life a lot, even now. In the beginning, when I was first working out and learning about all this, I thought I had to eat, a super complex diet where I had to focus on all these different foods to make sure I was getting all these different nutrients. I was counting all my macros super meticulously, and it sucks because it's a lot of work and it's not really fun, and you want this process to be fun. That way you can be consistent and you can do this in the long term. So basically, what are some steps you can do to, not have to worry about complex diets? To make it easy, just focus on whole, unprocessed foods. Basically meaning, imagine you go to not the jewelry store. Imagine you go to the grocery store. You want to stick to all the outside aisles. All the outside aisles are going to have all the real natural foods like your vegetables, your meats, your seafoods, that kind of thing. Once you start getting into the inner aisles of the grocery stores, that's when you start seeing the processed foods like the chips, the junk foods, all that type of stuff, which is, sure, it's also calories, but it's also crap. It's not good for you. You want to focus on getting enough protein, enough good carbs to sustain your energy, especially throughout workouts. And you also want to make sure you're getting healthy fats too. You want to focus on foods that are easily preppable and make eating consistent and easy. So, that's like, for me personally, I eat a lot of steak. I'll go get a bunch of steaks from the grocery store and I'll batch cook them in the oven. I'll cook a bunch at once and that'll make enough food for 2 or 3 days. Personally, my own stories, my diet used to be super overcomplicated and it was a lot of cooking, it was a lot of grocery shopping. Now that I've switched to simple staples, everything is so much easier. I batch cook a bunch of white rice, I cook steak, boom, that's it. I get my carbs from my rice, which gives me enough energy to work out in the gym properly. And since I batch cook my steak too, that makes hitting my protein goals super easy. Plus I'm Asian and I'm Filipino, I have to eat rice with every meal. It's pretty much essential. Number 2, your top 5 bulking foods. Maximizing growth and minimizing fuss. The core idea here is that these 5 categories will give you all the needed macros for lean muscle efficiently. Basically, the idea here is that this will kind of help you have to think less and make grocery shopping, and cooking super easy. So, what do I recommend? I recommend for protein, you look at your chicken, you look at your lean beef, eggs, and fish. Super easy. I cram a bunch of this stuff all the time. Chicken, you can go get fresh chicken, go to Costco, get rotisserie chicken for $5, super cheap, tastes bomb, it's already cooked. If you don't want to do that, you can go to Costco, get the big bags of like frozen thighs and frozen breast, and it's super cheap and you get a bunch of it too, and you can cook it however you want, whether you throw it in a pressure cooker or throw it into a soup, maybe you throw it in the oven. And that goes with beef too, like you can do it the exact same way. Eggs and fish, those are also super good too. Eggs are super easy to cook and they're amazing for you. They're so good for you. I used to go through a point where I'd eat like literally 30 eggs a day and I loved it. It was so fun. The only reason I stopped is because eggs got super expensive. So now I've been relying on mostly beef and canned fish, which is another great option. Canned fish, super nutritious for you. You don't even have to cook it. You just crack open a can and eat it. Plus you can throw it into different recipes too, whether that be salad, stir fries, literally anything. Just get creative. Like yesterday, my wife made some pasta and I felt like it was lacking protein, so I cracked open a can of tuna and I threw it in there and mixed it up and it was bomb. Okay, your complex carbs. We're talking about your rice, your oats, and potatoes. These are all super good for you. Plus, they're going to give you the energy that you need to work out hard in the gym. Because if you're not working hard, you're not properly challenging your muscles. And if you're not challenging your muscles, you're not going to grow. Healthy fats, we're talking about avocados, nuts, and olive oil. Don't go too crazy on the... Well, actually, you can. I was going to say don't go too crazy on the olive oil because it's a lot of calories and you'll get fat. But we're trying to go from skinny to big here. So do focus on the olive oil. Just make sure you're not overdoing it to the point where you get crazy fat. Greens, broccoli, and spinach. Easy. Just get these two things. Maybe pick one if you don't like broccoli. Spinach is my favorite. I throw it in everything because it cooks super fast. And once you cook it, it gets really small. So you barely have to eat it. Here's a quick booster. You can get full-fat dairy. My personal favorite is Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt's super bomb and it's easy. You don't have to cook it. You just put a spoon in it and you eat it. Nut butters. Also easy calories because it's really dense. It's really calorie dense. You do a couple nut butter sandwiches and you can easily hit your calories for the day. Here's a quick client story. I had a busy client who couldn't eat enough. Basically what I did is I had him switch to these few easy things. And once he started focusing on these in the kitchen, then he'd just stick to a couple of recipes that focus on this kind of stuff. His ability to hit his calories every day got super easy and he started to put on real natural muscle. But yeah, those are the two things I wanted to go over today. Those are the two tidbits, 2 steps you could call them. And in quick summary, we went over simple eating for serious gains, why fewer foods win. And we also went over top 5 bulking foods, which was basically just a couple examples or ideas of things that you guys could focus on in the kitchen. So your next step is that, we went over some truths here and some clear paths. We helped you stop guessing, but that might not be all the information you need. If you really want to succeed at this, you're going to need more than that. So that's why I created a complete A to Z program for skinny, young, natural, drug-free guys who want to put on muscle. If that sounds like you, then this program is designed literally for you. I go over things like nutrition, mindset, and recovery. Also comes with private school community access, which means that you'll be surrounded by like-minded guys who are in the same boat as you. They have the same goals as you. They're also young, natural, skinny guys trying to put on real natural muscle. On top of that, you'll get direct coaching from me and accountability from me as well as other people in the group, because once you have that accountability, this becomes so easy because you actually have someone that can put you in place and make sure you're hitting your goals. There's no hidden fees or anything like that. It's a full system, guaranteed consistency, which basically means you'll get ongoing support from me at any time you need it. You can shoot me a text. Like I said, I've got 15 years of natural lifting experience and a decade's worth of research. If you want this to be easy, basically what you want to do is find someone who's done it before because they can give you all the shortcuts. So you've heard the truth. You've got no more diet excuses. It's time for you to build. If what I mentioned before sounds interesting to you, click the link in the description below. There you can get a free training from me. We can schedule a completely free one-on-one strategy call where we can talk about what's been working for you, what hasn't been working for you, maybe the current program you're on. We can talk about that. And we can basically talk about how I could help you. So if that sounds interesting, if that sounds cool, check it out in the link in the description below. Click on that. If it doesn't, maybe I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.